Dude, the Wisconsin Supreme Court rejected an attempt by the Attorney General to block $1 million voter incentive program. I don't understand how that's possible. The Wisconsin Supreme Court unanimously decided not to hear it. Dude, like, what is that, bro? The state Attorney General is trying to prevent him from giving away $1 million checks affecting the election, and the Wisconsin Supreme Court unanimously decided to not hear that case. Like, why? And he says the payments are intended to generate a grassroots movement, not to expressly advocate for or against any candidate. But that is such fucking bullshit. It's like you gotta wonder at some point, what do we do if this keeps going? I mean, when is it time to start using the Second Amendment? I don't know. It may be sooner than we think. If people in Wisconsin can show up en masse and defeat Brad Schimmel, if Elon can be defeated here, it's going to be huge. I mean, here's the problem. If this works and Brad Schimmel wins that election in Wisconsin and that voter amendment passes, Elon is going to do this in every election in every state, because he spent like $30 million, but you don't understand. He could spend $30 million a day and it wouldn't even impact his fortune in the slightest. He could easily do this in every major election. I guess what's really feeling like enraging for me is I'm feeling like, why is this one guy with an endless supply of money? It feels like he just has a get out of jail free card, and he gets to now insert himself in every level of like our national existence. He's going through our government, through our data, through our social security, right? Shuttering all like government agencies, buying elections. And it's like, dude, at what point do we as a nation have to go and just surround him and put his fucking head in a guillotine? Like, I'm starting to get pissed, and it seems like nobody fucking cares, bro. But at some point, something's going to have to happen to this motherfucker, because I don't think we should have to put up with the future of him just inserting himself everywhere, thinking he can buy our whole fucking government. You know? Like, I'm not crazy for feeling that, am I? Dude, what the fuck are we doing, bro? Jesus, dude. Dude, what is going on? Dude, there's people cheering for this, bro. Dude, look at all these people, though. Like, there's people in that room, guys, that are fucking eating this shit up. Bro, can you imagine? I mean, dude, what kind of human being is like Elon Musk in a fucking cheesehead? And they look at that and they're like, yeah. Dude. Second Amendment, anyone?
Well, thank you for coming out in support of this very important Supreme Court race in Wisconsin. It's actually something that I think it's one of those things that may seem like it's obviously important in the state of Wisconsin, but I think it could actually be important for the country as well.
Dude, it is important for the country as well, because we need to fucking make sure that this motherfucker who tries to buy every election gets his ass fucking handed to him, bro. Like, he needs his ass beat. Dude, I hope Wisconsin comes through, man. Like, if they don't, this is going to be the norm. He's going to do this in every fucking election, bro.
And maybe for the world. If the Supreme Court is able to redraw the districts, they will gerrymander the districts and deprive Wisconsin of 2 House seats.
Right now, the districts are gerrymandered. Right now, they are gerrymandered. They don't fit the voter profiles in Wisconsin. Wisconsin has a Democratic governor. They have Democratic senators, and yet their districts are mostly red. Their congressional districts are almost all red. So they've been gerrymandered. My God, their state legislature, despite having a Democratic governor and Democratic senators and Democratic Supreme Court, their fucking state legislature is 2/3 Republican. So again, it is gerrymandered to fuck. And they've been trying to like draw new maps for a long fucking time.
Republican side. Yeah, exactly. It could be that the House...
Trumpy! Where's my penile implant?
Yes, indeed. And then they will try to stop all of the government reforms that we're doing, and we're getting done for you, the American people.
Oh yeah, all the government reforms like fucking killing kids are worldwide, helping to spread AIDS, making sure there's plenty of measles, you know, killing your grandma because she's not going to have any Medicare or any health care.
So,
dude, they want to keep killing.
The goal is very simple. It's to restore merit and freedom. So that's what it comes down to.
To restore merit and freedom. And by merit, he means making sure somebody like Pete Hegseth, who's woefully unqualified, gets to run the Department of Defense, right? That's merit. When a major who's had no experience running any major military operation, a Fox News host with a drinking problem, who's not even a high-ranking military official and has never led any extensive combat units ever, or managed anything with a large budget, he gets to be the head of the Department of Defense because merit. All right. By merit, they mean all white people.
I mean, it is astounding how much anti-American propaganda is pushed on kids today in schools. It's mind-blowing. And it's like, what the hell's going on, you know? So, anyway. But on a more positive note, we have this petition.
Dude, he is the worst speaker.
Activist judges, because judges should be simply interpreting the law, not making the law.
Dude, they're so mad at the judges that defend the Constitution. It's like a huge problem for them.
In appreciation for the support of people in signing this petition against activist judges, we just want judges to be judges, you know, which is a reasonable thing to ask for. We're obviously seeing like some crazy stuff in D.C. where you know, it seems like it's like any federal judge can stop any action by the president, of the United States. This is insane. Like
dude, it's always been like that. Dude, yeah, no, activist judge. When he says activist judge, he means judge that requires the Republicans to obey the Constitution. Whenever the activist judges were like preventing Joe Biden shit from coming through, they had no problem with it. They had no problem with it. Activist judge means somebody who says, hey, Trumpy, you're breaking the Constitution there. Activist! Oh, Trumpy, they're voting against my penile implant. Dude, oh shit.
This has got to stop. It's got to stop at the federal level and at the state level. But let me first hand out 2 $1 million checks in appreciation.
Dude, the fact though that he's able to just give away money like that is so dangerous, man. I'm hoping Wisconsin shows up, boss. Like, I don't know what we do about this. I don't know what we do about this. I'm serious, dude. Like, I feel like we may need to crank it out, bro. You know what I'm saying? This may be the only answer. This may be it. This may be where we're headed, guys. I mean, I literally don't know what else to do because, you know, there was a tweet from 𝗏𝗏 where she says Elon Musk cannot anticipate or truly understand the anger toward him right now because he's never experienced having to worry about having money to meet his basic needs or pay rent. And this is it. Like, he's in there with this cheering section of these MAGA shitheads, none of whom has gone to college. Most of them are fucking brain dead. And they're like man, as long as the hate agenda goes, they don't even care. They'll suffer. They will eat shit off the fucking sidewalk as long as they know that trans people are being harmed, and as long as they know that the people they don't like are suffering in their eyes. But many, many millions of people that are struggling to get by, there's only so long that you can watch a wealthy fucking weirdo just use his money to abuse us every which way but loose. I don't think he understands the negativity that he is building. And dude, we're just getting started. This is 2 months in. Like, how many more elections is he going to try to rat fuck? How many people are going to suffer from their rat fucking of the Social Security offices? What are they going to do to Medicaid? Like, you know, and I mean, the tariffs haven't even hit. And like the LNG, the natural gas that's going through the roof, where some of these people in the Midwest are going to have like $1,000 heating bills this winter. And like, they're not even ready for what's coming down the pike here. And he's just like, let's give away $1 million.
But I am kind of perturbed by the sort of how aggressive these protests are, you know, where it's like,
oh, see, this is where the 𝗏𝗡𝗪𝗏 tweet, I think, comes into play. Okay, when he says here he's perturbed by how aggressive the protests are, he doesn't understand, right? I mean, he doesn't. He just has no clue that there's going to be forever backlash. Like his life is never going to go back to the way it was before this. And sure, he can devote the next stage of his life to all this shit, but then he's going to have to sacrifice Mars, right? Like, he's not going to make it to Mars and tweeting 4,000, times a month and running around the country like doing this shit, right? But he has no idea what he's in for. That like literally hundreds of thousands of people have lost their jobs. Their retirement packages have ended. There's millions of people worldwide that are probably going to die as a result of him cutting off USAID. Spread of AIDS, like poor people in impoverished areas around the fucking globe, people are going to die. Like, they're killing people. But again, are they talking about Social Security because they want to gut it? They want to gut it. And so they want to do the same with Medicaid. So they're trying to establish in people's minds that, holy shit, this is so fraudulent. There's so much fraud. My God, the cheating. You won't believe how much they're cheating. And then they're going to hack it, okay? And they're going to cut it. But there isn't any fraud, because if there was fraud, okay, any fraud, go get an indictment. Arrest those people. Every Social Security fraudster out there, I want them to arrest them. Get the indictment, arrest them. Let's jail these guys. I'm totally down with that. But you're not going to see any of that, because they're just trying to create a narrative of fraud so they can hack it out, gut it, and then later they're going to be like, what do you mean? And what's more, though, with the data they have, I feel like they could do something nefarious. Like, they may cut it based on racial lines or voter lines. Like, they have enough data now that he's plugged his AI tools everywhere in the government that they could very easily cut Social Security for, Democrats in blue states and then blame it on Democratic leadership or whatever, try to flip those states to red. Because, ultimately, what the long game is, they want to have 37 states with red legislatures and governors. And why? Because the day they have 37 states with red legislatures and governors, they will start passing constitutional amendments against gender, against gay, against like non-Christians, against women's right to their uterus. Like, that's their long game. They want 37 states so they can pass constitutional amendments and enshrine all their crazy shit in a way that it can just never be undone. And that's the ultimate goal of these guys. This is, dude, the Manhattan Institute and these evangelical groups, they've been plotting this for like 30 years. Ever since Clinton, Ever since Clinton, they have been in the lab, and they've been focused on the state level, gerrymandering the state level. That's why Wisconsin, and yes, they could repeal older amendments like women's right to vote or the slavery one. Exactly. They would just have, complete and utter control. And because we know that constitutional amendments now are like, they're pretty much untouchable. This is why Wisconsin is so interesting, because again, Wisconsin has a Democratic governor, they have Democratic senators, they have a Democratic Supreme Court, but their state legislature is 2/3 Republican because it's gerrymandered. So the Democrats have no power in the state legislature. And it's been that way for a while. All because of this guy, because of Robin Vos, this guy right here. He is like the most powerful man in Wisconsin, and he's a total fucking degenerate. They're these crazy fucking evangelicals. This is part of the reason why I want to go back there and maybe run. I want to fucking bring this guy to his knees, dude. Like badly. Look at these guys. Wisconsin, especially in their urban areas, they have huge populations of color, and the state is controlled by a bunch of old religious white men. These fucking hacks, dude. It's gnarly, dude. It's fucked up, bro. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.